Buenos dias on this lazy Sunday after a not so lazy weekend. In fact, we've seen the largest single day liquidation event in crypto history. Almost $20 billion were wiped out overnight, Friday night to Saturday morning, where you're based. But it's been a crazy event. I was about to go to sleep and I just checked the charts and I couldn't believe what I saw. So I was glued to my screen for a couple of hours. And this is bigger than the FTX collapse, Luna collapse, bigger than the COVID crash, March 2020, where I also was glued to my screen till 5, 6 a.m. in the morning. But this has been a bigger event. This has been the largest by far liquidation event. 1.6 million people, traders, have lost their money, and nearly $20 billion were wiped out. First and foremost, I hope you're fine, even though you incurred losses. I also incurred a lot of losses on my spot portfolio, of course. Yeah, you kind of have to take a day or two to process everything, to let everything sink and not get too emotional. A lot of people are taking desperate actions when those events happen, and I just hope that you're fine, that you're taking some time off if you have been affected from this, and that you're going through these times. That's first and foremost the most important thing. I know a lot of people have been talking a lot about Twitter. Yeah, I just hope that we're here for each other when those events happen, because again, it is when it's about money, about losing all your money, it can get very, very ugly, very, very quick. But now the question is, where do we go from here? The question is, what is going to happen with ATONE that went to zero on Binance in the USDT pool? The USDT ATONE pool pair went to 1 cent per atom, which crypto Twitter was all about. So yeah, where do we go from here? This was the biggest crash of all time in crypto. $9.4 billion were liquidated within hours. I mean, this happened literally in a snap. Again, I was glued to my screen and I could not believe what I saw. And this is exactly what happened here. CoinGlass, 24 hours, 1.6 million traders were liquidated. Total liquidation, $19.13 billion. The actual number likely much higher. And liquidations happened on exchanges, on Binance, on decentralized exchanges, which so far, as of right now, we do not know if anything blew up. It is quite likely that something blew up, right? When Luna crashed, of course, that was because this mechanism on Anchor and UST, that whole thing blew up. Then we saw FTX blowing up because they basically had a bank run and they didn't have enough money, and they were co-mingling funds. So there was always something that we could attribute the dump towards. Now, at least as I'm recording this video, which I think is going to be outdated very, very soon, we don't know what happened. We don't know who blew up. We don't know why this happened. The timing is very interesting though, because it was on a Friday evening, getting into this weekend where, you know, traders were signing off, market makers are signing off. We're getting into a weekend of kind of low volumes, you know, low activity. The whole week before has been kind of sideways, a little bullish, but there was nothing special, right? Besides that one tweet that Trump put out saying that he would put 100% tariffs on Chinese products. And that is what some people attribute this event to, but I personally do not really believe this is linked. This is probably, you know, the only reason why it could be linked is if there was some sort of insider trading, because there was also this suspicious hyperliquid $750 million position that was opened from a wallet that was created on that day or the day before. So there's some kind of signs of insider trading. I personally don't believe that Trump's tweet caused all of this. But yeah, something happened, something blew up. I personally think it probably somehow linked to Binance itself, because a lot of these prices happened on Binance, right? A lot of these prices, ATONE going to 1 cent. I'm going to show you the chart on Binance itself in a second, but it flash dumped to 1 cent. Actually, sorry, a tenth of a cent. Not even 1 cent. So that's a tenth of a cent on Binance, right? And Binance itself at that point was probably very, very slow to deposit or withdraw or to do anything on there. Same for Coinbase, same for many other exchanges. They had a lot of issues on their platforms, but this is just absolutely wild. I've never seen something like that. TR went to 22, 23 cents. I mean, absolute altcoin massacre, an absolute altcoin bloodbath. And even now, as I'm recording this, you can see this was the crash here. Even for Bitcoin, it was in an absolute free fall to $102,000. Not around 111. I mean, Bitcoin is still fine. Some other large caps are still fine, but some of these small caps are absolutely destroyed. looking at the initial chart, this was at 32 cents, went to 3.5 cents. Now it's 17 cents. So we're still down 40-50% for some of these altcoins. Starting at 11 cents, went to 3 cents from 18 the day before. Ohm chart, which I'm consciously pulling up here because the Ohm chart had such an event a couple of months ago, if you remember, when it went from $6.20 to 30-40 cents. And apparently there was also some over-leveraged positions or something like that on OKX that caused this massive dump, and the Ohm chart never really covered and also got hit by this most recent event now, down to 3 cents, now at 10 cents. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But now it feels like we're seeing the Ohm dump that happened a couple of months ago collectively across all altcoins, at least across most altcoins, but pretty much all altcoins. Say Network went to 6 cents after being on around 30 cents the day before, and currently at 20 cents, so still 30-40% down. And I mean, yesterday was low liquidity, Saturday, a lot of these people are off, they're not working. I'm sure a lot of these teams had emergency working hours over the weekend, even today. But I think we're going to see only the actual outcome and first kind of reactions tomorrow, Monday. Monday's going to be the day. We're going to see a showdown. But yeah, it's been insane. DYDX, 34 cents. Crazy. Any of these, if you pull up any of these charts, you're going to see crazy, crazy wicks, crazy market movements. So yeah, I just hope, again, that you're fine, even if you were affected, that you managed to get some help, get some friends to speak about, maybe spend some time with your family, and yeah, do not take any stupid decisions. So yeah, that is very, very important here to say. Now, again, I personally think something blew up. We're probably going to hear who or what or why sometime next week, earliest, I would assume. We also have Monday coming, of course, where the situation around China will be cleared up. Maybe it was linked to that. I think it's very unlikely, but maybe Trump is going to say, oh yeah, we're going to pass the 100% tariff on Chinese products for another month, and we're going to meet up and everything will be fine. Maybe this was just a power move, which happened a million times before that as well. But yeah, that's the status quo. Some other coins like BNB have been entirely unaffected. I mean, it wicked down, but it's pretty much at all-time highs right now, even up today, 6%. Then we also have Leo, which I think no one really knows what that coin is or does, but it just never dumps. It's been completely sideways and it's pretty much up only if you look at the chart. I'm not going to pull it up now, but Leo, the coin of Bitfinex, the company behind Tether, I think is one of the most, or the least spoken about coin in all of crypto. Hedera down bad, 24%, which is actually my largest position, my liquid portfolio. Polkadot, $3, Toncoin down bad. Everything down, 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 near $2.30. This was at $5-6, like, yeah. Tough times. Atom ranked 80 now, $3.29. Yeah, just absolute insanity what we saw in that event. And I think it will take some time for the markets to cure, also for the kind of market mentality, retail mentality to cure from that. A lot of people have lost everything. We just looked at the numbers. 1.6 million traders got liquidated. Pretty much everyone got liquidated on these wicks. And I mean, Binance also came out and said that if you lost money on Binance, then you can, I think there's a portal or something where you can, yeah, request compensation because something blew up. And we don't know exactly what, but something blew up. And I personally think it's somehow linked to Binance, but we're going to see what will come out of that. Now, looking into the Cosmos ecosystem prices, we already looked at some of them. Atom 329, Agoric had a bit of a run, went to 1.7 cents even, now at 1.1, but didn't dump as crazy. Akash 73 cents, Babylon 3.2 cents, Celestia below $1.95 could also not really get up from there, at least for now. Injective 866. It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, is this the generational entry? Probably, maybe. Definitely has shaken up the entire industry. It's like an earthquake for crypto that happened. Shook a lot of people out, liquidated almost everyone, and made it very, very hard for businesses also to continue to proceed, and also the whole mindset and mentality. If you work full time in this industry, you can probably see it from my eye rings. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but yeah, it's been a wild event. Miles saying that he's been never as bearish on bad altcoins, but never been as bullish on good altcoins. The question, of course, is now, well, which are the bad ones, which are the good ones? He's a great analyst, by the way. I really think he's a very smart guy to evaluate markets, to see trends, to see fundamentals in coins, right? And I think Miles definitely one that you should be following on Twitter, Miles Deutscher on Twitter. He also has a YouTube channel. And yeah, the question is now, are any of our Cosmos coins good coins? I think, of course, I think so, yes, because it has strong fundamentals. There's a lot of innovation that Cosmos coins have brought to the table. Apparently, the market does not care as much about technological fundamentals, innovations, all these kind of things. It cares more about revenue, it cares more about narrative, positioning, and on-chain activity, right? Which a lot of these coins are massively lagging behind. In 2.5 weeks, we have Cosmos where there will be announcements. There will be announcements around the ATONE roadmap, around the Cosmos Hub, around other projects. We have Agoric is going to be there. I hope 𝗪𝗁 will be there. Babylon will be there. Celestia will be there. A lot of these coins will be represented, and I hope that we can, yeah, restore some of this outer perception around Cosmos through the event, at the event, with everyone that's there on ground. And if you're on the fence, I strongly recommend you to come to just spend 3-4 days with us in Split, Croatia, and then we're going to see which ones are the good coins, which are the bad ones, right? But of course, I still believe in Cosmos, even though like I mentioned earlier, I still have other bags outside of Cosmos. But yeah, that's my conviction that a lot of these Cosmos coins are actually good altcoins. Another good one that I think has also proven on, like, in the end of the day, like, why are we all here, right? We're all here because we want to build an independent financial system, an independent system that separates money from the state, that separates the power from centralized providers to a decentralized system, right? And DeFi, exchanging, trading is one part of that. And Osmosis, the app chain for DeFi, that's my definition of at least, a DeFi chain, a DEX chain, if you will, has run extremely smooth through that dump. And prices on Osmosis only went to only $2.70 for Atom, 80 cents for TIA. Binance had wicked a lot lower, which, by the way, also doesn't mean that you could have easily just bought that 1 cent Atom, right? Like, I don't know, I think someone probably had a buy order that or a limit order that got filled or whatever. But yeah, I mean, the probability that you can just like scoop these coins at those prices are nearly zero, like extremely low, unless you put like limit orders and keep them open specifically on that pair, specifically on that exchange. But yeah, maybe that could be a strategy, but then yeah, who knows? Anyways, Osmosis has been in the spotlight recently a little bit more because, number one, when Jay started swapping his ATONE for Atom like a week ago, which caused the ATONE price to 16x within a day. I made a video about this, the last one that I strongly recommend you to watch as well. The Atom Wars, Atom versus ATONE, where Jay, the original founder of Cosmos, inventor of Tendermint, has forked the Cosmos Hub called Atom 1, ticker ATONE, and now has swapped the first portion of his Atom holdings that he still has, I guess personally, but also through All In Bits, his company, that also was one of the two founding entities of Cosmos in the early days. There's the Interchain Foundation and All In Bits. Interchain Foundation is now run by, the president and the board members of the foundation itself, and also Mark and Barry as co-CEOs for Interchain Labs, the subsidiary operational arm of Interchain Foundation. And then you have Jae Kwon, who has forked the hub, has now his own chain, his own ecosystem with no land. It eventually becomes secured by Atom 1, but I mean, that's all technical stuff. And why am I telling you all this? Well, because first off, this has restored a lot of or revived a lot of the volumes on Osmosis, because ATONE is only listed on Osmosis, only trading there. Secondly, because Jae Kwon has unstaked the remaining 4.8 million Atom, which will be liquid in around 2.5 weeks, 2 to 2.5 weeks. And that will very likely be swapped for ATONE as well. You can actually see here, depending on delegations and when they are done undelegating. And well, that is precisely the week of Cosmos, which I personally, I'm not sure if that's coincidence, but expect some wild volatility around Cosmoverse with this event. I mean, I personally don't think that this is going to massively affect the ATONE price, at least not anything in comparison to what we have just seen, where we still don't know what actually happened. But yeah, this is something to keep an eye on. And again, in the end of the day, this also means massive volumes will be coming to Osmosis again, stress tested now for the second time, and will be stress tested in around 2 weeks for the third time. But yeah, we're going to see. I will keep monitoring that situation. I'll keep you posted on what it all means, what it could mean. By then I will be in Croatia already, so I'll report straight from there. Then we also have some other news from 𝗪𝗁, the co-founder of Babylon, that has now pivoted into BTCFi. So they have pioneered and mastered this Bitcoin staking category. Now they're focused a lot more on BTCFi, Bitcoin DeFi, basically, to activate Bitcoin capital. They currently have around $6 billion in TVL, total value locked, with Bitcoin. Now they want to focus a lot more on activating that capital in DeFi, and they're building a whole ecosystem around it. We're going to see, and of course also keep you posted on how that all comes together. But he's also saying that they have internally kind of restructured the team, and yeah, now it's all about those trustless Bitcoin vaults to really activate the Bitcoin BTC as an asset for DeFi. Another news is from Stride, which is also linked to why the STRD token has been pumping lately. In fact, it's also 27% up today. 8 cents, still anything, still far away from anything that's like cool. I mean, 8 cents is just crazy, $8 million market cap. But it's pumping because after taking a month off, after the permissionless EVM plans were scratched, they have now come back and said, big change is coming. So they're separating 2 bets. One bet is that STRD will still be the LST token for Cosmos with a buyback and burn mechanism. But then you also will have the chance between October 15 and December 4 to burn your STRD allocation for STRDR, which will be a bet on a new product that they want to build outside of Cosmos, something totally different, totally new. And they give themselves 2 months time or something like that to find product market fit outside of Cosmos. And if they achieve that, there will be a new token, and that will be converted then for those that have burned. The founders are going to burn 90% of the STRD. Also, the foundation or association, they've also recommended investors, which I am an investor into Stride, to burn their allocations. To be honest, I have not really, with all the focus on customers right now, not really thought much about this, what I'm going to do. At least there's some sign of life here. Stride is still printing revenues, I think a few $100,000 a year with their LST services that they're providing. But we're going to see where this is going. And yeah, let me know if you have more thoughts on this, and yeah, what your strategy is going to be with STRD. Finally, 2 quick things before I show you a new wallet, which I think in the context of what happened is very, very important. The ultimate Ondo tokenomics guide is now here. We have worked a lot on this. 𝗪𝗺 from my team put in a lot of time to put together a comprehensive tokenomics guide. We did one on AKT, we did one on TIA, we did one on other coins. Now Ondo, which is going to launch their Cosmos chain soon. So Ondo is joining the Cosmos gang. But yeah, and then in that context, we did a full-on breakdown of the Ondo tokenomics. And finally, also IBC volumes are rising again, which is good to see. 384 million in weekly volumes. That was from last week. And the biggest pair has been the hub Osmosis, so Cosmos Hub Osmosis bridge between those two chains. So yeah, could also, of course, be linked to the Atom 1 story that was on like last week. But now, finally, I want to give a shout out to 𝗪𝗁 for sending me this wallet. It's looks very cool. I haven't tried it out yet, to be very honest, just because I didn't get to properly open it and do a test with it. But I will do that. And I think my message really for today is also, after what happened with all these liquidations, is that you take self-custody very serious, that you take risk management very serious, that if you are invested in crypto, that the most kind of risk you take is, I don't know, 5 or 10% with leverage trading, and the rest just keep it in spot on a hardware wallet. Ideally distributed across hardware wallets. Make sure you have backups, physically written down passphrases, seed phrases. Do not take this lightly. It's very, very important. I got wrecked. I got scammed. I had coins on exchanges that don't exist anymore. I lost a lot of money on perps trading a couple of years ago. This has all happened and has also been part of the reason why I created this channel in 2021 or 2020 in the first place. So that's very, very important. And yeah, we're gonna see again next week will be, or tomorrow will be showtime. What happened? Why this happened on a Friday night? What blew up? Who blew up? Why? We probably have answers tomorrow. At least I think we're gonna have crazy volatility tomorrow. I of course hope for a nice relief bounce, like a big juicy 30, 40, 50% green candle on all altcoins across the board. But yeah, who knows at this point what is going to happen. Now, that's all. Enjoy your Sunday. I hope you have a great Sunday, rest of the day. Touch some grass, get some fresh air, spend time with friends and family. And yeah, don't revenge trade, don't do anything stupid, don't do anything emotional, and things will be fine. Everything will be fine in the mid-long term. Just stay locked in and stay focused, and don't do emotional decisions. That's it. I'll see you very soon here on 𝗪𝗪𝗿𝗀. Until then, stay safe and be good.